thought was on my mind comes from, if you would turn to Psalms 46. And we're going to read 1 through 7. Brother David, when you find that, how about reading that? And we're going to discuss this morning about how well is your security, or how is your security or protection in God. Read, if you would, Brother David, read 46, Psalm 46, 1 through 7.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the stream whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
Right in that first verse it says God is. It doesn't say God might be or could be, but God is our refuge, our strength, and a very present help in time of trouble. What's a refuge? A refuge is in
Safe
hiding
place.
place.
Safe place.
a safe place, a place of freedom, but I looked it up and it basically means a shelter. You can go to the shelter and God says He's our shelter, our refuge, and He's our strength. Certainly we know we're weak and frail creatures, and we got to depend upon God, don't we? So God is our refuge, and He's a very present help in times of trouble. And that's what's on my mind this morning, about security and protection. There's a lot of security and protection thoughts in the Bible, and I hope we can see that clearly, that God is our security and our protection. So before I go to that, there's all kinds of different kinds of sorts of security in the world. Name some of the things that comes to your mind about security. I'll jump it off and start off with one. Bank security. We have security to hold our money in the banks or whatever. So that we make security deposits. All right? Anybody else?
When we get older, Social Security.
Social Security. Now, Social Security is important for retired people. Isn't it? So I'm going to name a bunch of these things, and I'm doing that for you. Go ahead, Ruth.
Home security.
Home security, okay.
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. All these are security and that comes about that we have in our lifetime. Now, I got a fire alarm at home that's supposed to be security. Brother Carville come over the other day and he opened the door and that thing went off and it scared both of us to death. But all of these that I'm telling you about, that I mentioned, we mentioned security of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or whatever. All these are good to have, but guess what? They can fail you. The police department, I've been on calls before, Danny and I have, and we went to the wrong place. Well, it all got straightened out and everything worked out good, but things that, fire alarms, the battery could go bad. You see what I'm saying? You got security, but these types of security all of them can fail you. So God is our security and our refuge. In this Psalm 46, he says, God is our refuge, He's our strength, and He's our very help in the time of presence of trouble. He didn't say now, and say God is a, he didn't say and God is the King of kings or the presidents or the politicians or the priests or the pope and all these. God is not that, but God is our refuge, our safety. That's the word, safety, refuge, or shelter in time of need. Who is God? God is the great I am. He is the Lord of lords. He is the King of kings. If you would turn to Psalms 91. Now, we're talking about security or protection. How well is your security? In Psalms 91, Janice, can you read real loud 1 through 11? We're going to pick up some thoughts here about what David was saying about the shelter and about trusting in God and being safe in God.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold, and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
You know, God has an all-seeing eye. We know that many scriptures teaches about God has His eyes. Neither is any creature manifested sight, but all things are naked and open to the eyes do not see. And Peter says, the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and His ears are open to prayers. But, he said, He's against them that do evil. So we have here an all-seeing eye, and He sees us day or night. That's what verse 5 and 6 says. Day or night. And He watches and sees us. He goes on to tell us that we can have a peace at night by the security of God, by the protection of God. He can give us a wait of rest. But here's one point I want to look at in that 11th verse. Says, He shall give His angels charge over thee. You know, I was telling Brother Terry about that a while ago. For 70 years, I've had protection and security. You get thinking about that. How old are you? Well, actually, more than 70 years of my life, I have been protected and secure through God. Isn't that wonderful to know that you can see? Well, here He's telling us that He should give us His angels charge over thee. Janice and I, everybody in this church basically knows that Janice and I were in a terrible accident. I mean a bad accident. It totaled my car and flipped the truck. It hit me 3 times, and we couldn't get out. Smoke. We thought we smelled smoke, and there was a fire in it, and I couldn't get out on my side, and everything was dark. Couldn't find my seat belt. I finally run up there my chest and found it. And I run around and see how Janice was, and guess what God did? I had a little bruise on my arm. She had a little bruise on her leg. You can't tell me that there's not a God of heaven that gives us protection and security. God protects us. And not only me and Janice was protected by these angels of God, but the young guy who's 21 years old that hit me and rolled 3 times and totaled his truck, he got out and he didn't have a scratch on him. Now, how do you explain something like that? And I have been to accidents, and work accidents, that were 30,000 times just a figure, of nothing that looked bad on a car having a wreck, and the people got killed. Have you ever witnessed that? The guardian angels are with us. God has given us angels that protect us. I know there's at least 3 angels there today. 3 at least. Now, I got thinking about all these different kinds of protection that we have and all this, but they all will fail you from one time or another. If the airplane flies across here and the engine blows up, it comes in and crashes, you still got angels about you. If God blesses us. Now I want to think about a different kind of security now. I want you to think about eternal security. We have these other securities and they'll fail you, but God's security will not fail you. He tells us in Romans 8:38, he says, I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, or things to come can what? Separate you from the love of God. Over in John chapter 10, a lot of times God refers to us as sheep. He says over in John chapter 10, he says, my people, I'm just paraphrasing now, I want you to go and read it in John chapter 10, but we are considered as being dumb sheep. And a sheep can't take care of himself. He has to have a shepherd or somebody to guide him. And these sheep, but God says, no man can pluck them out of my hand. We in the hand of God. And I can picture us in the hand of God and him putting the hand on top of it. And nothing's going to separate you from that love of God. And you are secure eternally through Christ Jesus. You don't have to do anything to go to eternal heaven. The Bible tells us that we were chosen before the foundation of the world, and it's by grace and grace alone that you go to eternal heaven. It's not by works what man should do. It's a gift of God. Grace is a gift of God. And he gives us grace, and he has bought and paid for us through the blood of Jesus Christ. That's eternal security right there. Nothing can change that. Nobody can, you can do anything you want to. You cannot change the grace of God for eternal security. You don't work your way to heaven. We know that here. Every one of us knows you don't work later. If not of works, please any man should boast. But it's by grace and grace alone, and that's our eternal security in Christ Jesus. And John 10:27 says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life. Now there's eternal life and life eternal. You can go to John chapter 2, and you'll see where he splits it here. He says life eternal and eternal life. And both of them is to know Jesus Christ. If you know Jesus is the Christ, you have everlasting life, eternal life, the crown of life, all these that are mentioned. But he says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. Be in the hand of God, ain't it? Now, we're secure while we live right now. I'm going to run back to man. We're in the kingdom of God. Righteousness, peace, and joy of the Holy Spirit right here in the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God. And we can boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I won't fear what man will do to me. We don't have to fear. And I'm not going to have time to go into all, I got a lot more I'm going to go to, but I'm going to hit some high points right there right quick. We have a lot of battles in our life, a lot of troubles in our life, and God says he's our protector and our savior. He says that in 13:6 we just read it in Hebrews, he boldly say, the Lord is my helper. I won't fear what man will do to me. We ain't got to worry about what man will do. And we have battles in our life. You know, God is our protector. He tells us we're safe and free from danger because we have that security. But in Chronicles chapter 20, there again, I want you to go home and read about it, especially 20:15 through 17, talking about Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat was fixing to have a battle, and he knew he couldn't win that battle by himself with his army because it was too small. But God told him he would fight for him. Now, who is the captain of your salvation? It's Jesus Christ. We're in an army that we can't get no discharge with. And we have battles in our life. But God gives us protection. And in that protection, Jehoshaphat prayed to God, and God told him, you don't need to fight in this battle. I'm going to fight the battle for you. And then he gives us an armor over in Ephesians chapter 6. So read it also when you get home. You're going to have a lot of reading to do when you get home. But Ephesians chapter 6, starting with verse 10, He gives us God gives us, we're not fighting a battle with flesh and blood, it's a spiritual battle. And it tells you that we're in a spiritual fight against who? Satan. Your adversary, the devil, the roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And he's a liar. John 8:44 said he's a liar, a murderer, and a thief. That's who we fight in a spiritual way. And God gives us a spiritual armor. And I know David, you read about David the giant. And he put on Saul's armor. It was too big. And he went with what he knew to kill the giant because God was with him right there. But here in Ephesians chapter 6, he gives you a spiritual parts to wear your helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, and so forth and so on. God gives us security to win the battle. We're safe by trusting in God with all our heart, soul, mind, and all these few verses. I got about 3 or 4 minutes I want to read, but here's some thoughts I pulled up on the King James Bible in the computer. It says in Psalms 138:7, though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life and stretch out your hand against the anger of my foes. With your right hand, you save me. That's security right there. With your right hand. Is God's arm too short to save? No. I think that's in Isaiah. I'm not sure. But God, He's telling us that He stretched out His hand to save me. In Psalms 48:14, for this is God, is ours forever and ever, and He will guide you even unto death, or to the end. God's going to be right there with you. We don't need to be all fretting and carrying on. We need to trust God with all our heart. Don't lean on your understanding, but trust Him, and He'll take care of you. So God is in Psalms 48:14, for this is our God, and God is forever. He will guide you even to death. Nahum 1:7, I got 2 more. The Lord is good, a refuge in time of trouble. Have y'all heard that? He's a refuge. He's our shelter. He's our protection. He cares for us. We trust in Him. In Psalms 18:30, as for God, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all those that trust in Him. And then the last one there, He says, I will both lay down in peace and sleep, for thou only makes me dwell in safety. God is our protector. God is our security. Things of the world, like we first mentioned about all those things that protect us, they'll fail you. But we have a God that will not fail you. Anybody got anything?